Back tonight here on In Focus, suspended officials of the Metalworkers Union, NUMSA, are heading to the Labour Court on Friday to have their sanctions lifted after NUMSA Secretary General Irvin Jim claimed the suspended officials are a rogue faction looking to undermine the conference. For more on this, we are joined now by suspended NUMSA member Kwanda Khanyile. Kwanda, good evening and thank you very much for your time and joining us here on In Focus. In the latest statement dated 18 July from NUMSA, they are calling you the individuals who are making a mockery of themselves by your behavior, referring to the press conference that you held around this particular matter, saying you're making false claims about the union and you are charged with allegations of misconduct and you are attempting to clear your names via the media. Are you obstructing disciplinary processes that are being instituted against you?
Good evening and good evening to all the viewers. The statement that you just said, it's not true at all. If you can maybe help me by showing us our charge sheet. As we were on the press conference last time, I was with Comrade George, which is a very senior member in NUMSA in terms of he was one of the founding members of NUMSA. He was given a sanction of 4 years suspension without even going to the hearing. There is a new term that they are using in NUMSA these days by that caucus that call themselves Amajita. They are saying they put you on a chain block and then they will see you after the Congress. We have tried everything to appeal to the national office to get the attention from the national office to come and intervene in our matter, but the doors were shut. Nobody ever responded to us. So the claims that they say we are trying to undermine the Constitution, we are not the ones who are undermining the NUMSA Constitution.
They're saying you're currently neglecting to do the work that you are assigned to do of defending workers and fighting battles on the shop floor, and instead you have now taken your attention to this particular matter and taking them to court.
A part of our responsibilities as the worker leaders is to look after workers. In terms of the NUMSA as a worker control organization, we take mandate from the shop floor. None of us is representing our own jackets. We went to the local shop steward council and then we received mandates. Workers raised number of issues that we take it up with the union, and then people were not willing to come to the party in terms of accountability. And then we start seeing a number of suspensions happening. For example, there was an issue that touched the workers very badly. If we can remember, we are coming from the pandemic. The pandemic, workers were not earning full salaries. While they were struggling to make the ends meet, when we go back to work and then attending our meetings, we receive the letter, the communication from one of the NUMSA investment companies and then subsidiaries, when they were looking forward to increase the subscriptions. And then it comes to our attention that a number of things has happened in terms of it comes to our attention that the NUMSA investment company has been donating money to politicians and they made parties and all these things for the general secretary. So that thing didn't sit well with the members. And then we start to take it up, demanding that maybe at the stage we are still not sure if it's true or not. We started by asking the general secretary maybe to deny the allegations or submit himself to we called for a lifestyle audit for all NUMSA leaders. And then we asked for forensic audit in terms of the NUMSA investment company.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no one ever listened to us. We started to see suspensions happening.
Yeah. So you're being suspended for your non-support of this investment. Is that what you say?
Not exactly. There are two groups of people who are suspended in NUMSA. The first group is the people who are demanding accountability to leaders. People who are demanding accountability to leaders and people who are demanding accountability to leaders, in line with the investment companies, a number of things that have been allegations leveled against them. So, and then they said, may you go and avail yourself, may you initiate a lifestyle audit so that everything will be seen if it's genuine or not. Because a number of things, I will give you an example. They come to our attention that there's a shop steward who happened to be the first deputy president of the organization, who was buying a house of 2.5 million rand. So that thing, it didn't sit well because we know where you're working, we know your colleagues you work with. For being a NUMSA shop steward, you don't get any money, you just serve the worker. That was the first thing. The second group of people who are suspended, which I think I'm falling to them, is the people who they assume that you won't vote for the certain, for the leadership that they want to impose in the congresses. So those are the second group of people. It's like when I was in the South to Congress, that's where they said to me, no, you don't seem to be following the caucus mandate. And then I was asked to leave the Congress, but if I refused to do that, they called a special RC, and then we were suspended.
So the very same argument that you're raising around the 2.2 million rands house is the same one that the organization is raising against those who are taking it to court. They're asking the question, how are you as just shop steward and just workers affording such expensive court applications? Who's funding it?
It is very disturbing to hear that comes from the union, because if you are a union president, I believe one of the responsibilities to make it a point everybody got justice. I was looking forward to, I was thinking maybe the union president will invite all of us in one room and try to give us justice. For him to go around and seeking who's funding who, we seek justice. The only thing we want is justice. It's not that we want anything. We want justice. So if we can't afford it, why he doesn't make it available to us? Then we have to struggle and try to find money to plead our case.
Yeah.
The biggest problem that we face with is people who want to impose themselves to the Metalworkers Union without following the proper channels. It's like the suspension of the second deputy president, which we believe is unconstitutional and it had no mandate. Everyone who's been suspended at NUMSA, he has been suspended with the special meetings. The difference between a special meeting and the normal meeting. The normal meeting, they send a secretariat report or to the locals. The locals, they take it to the factories. When it's in the factories, they get the general meeting, they receive mandate, they take it back to the locals. And then the locals will mandate the LOBs, the local office bearers, and the local office bearers, they take it to the regional executive meeting. A regional executive meeting, they mandate the regional executive, the regional leadership to take it to the central committee. And then they are fully mandated. But whatever has happened to everybody who's been suspended, they call a special meeting with no mandate from the workers, and then they start suspending people. So those are the things that we see abnormal, and then we decided, let's take it to court, and then we plead with the court to uplift our suspensions.
Yeah. To those members who are concerned, for example, about the administrative dealings with the investment onto 360, the organization are saying that they've been cleared by the interim report by the provincial curator, who has said that the prudential authority to place 360 under liquidation was irrational, and therefore saying your criticism, well, not yourself, but those members who is unfounded.
No. Yes, one thing that you need to understand, there is some things that came up, the things that talks to the donations that has been made. You see, in NUMSA, we were organizing even in the plastic industry, who've been in a lockout for quite a long time, almost 2 years. The NUMSA investment company didn't even donate anything to them. That's one of the things that angered the workers. And then they see the NUMSA investment company NUMSA investment company donate and make parties for the leadership. Those are the things that we want to clear it up. before we do anything moving forward.
So which part of the NUMSA constitution you're saying they're in breach of? Because they are saying your suspension is as per constitution according to Chapter 8.
There is Chapter 4. And then in terms of the NUMSA constitution, you investigate. You see, I will give you a very clear example about me, about myself and Comrade George. Comrade George never even got an opportunity to go on a hearing, to place his side of the story of whatever has happened. They just suspend him, and then they give him a sanction of 4 years not participating in the Congress. They say they are putting him up on a chain block. They will see him after the Congress. Because they were suspecting maybe there is a faction or there is a group of companies that will like to nominate him to stand for a president, for one of the presidents, which is unfounded. And then Comrade George was suspended. And he was one of the people who was keep on asking questions in terms of the investment company. Myself, I don't even know, as I'm sitting here, I can show you my charge sheet, why I'm suspended. They are not saying they are going to investigate, no. They are just suspended me and said I'm waiting the hearing. Why the hearing is not happening up to now, nobody knows.
So Chapter 8 saying an investigation must precede the removal and must be conducted by local office bearers. Is that what you're leaning on?
Yes.
And should they then demonstrate to you that such an investigation was conducted on their part, you would be willing to step down?
No. I'm in terms of the constitution of this country, I have a right to have a fair hearing, so that they test whatever they are saying I did. Because if they argue that I didn't follow the caucus mandate, there is no caucus who can mandate any worker leader in this union. There is a constitutional structures that mandate us.
Yeah.
We are not going to mandate by any caucus of anything that is just being imposed.
Yeah. It does seem they feel your conduct on itself, as per Chapter 8, is enough, is detrimental to the interests of the union and its members, and who also alleged to committed misconduct may be disciplined by regional executives. And the REC is required to follow that disciplinary procedure set out in this constitution.
But the REC didn't follow it, number one. Number two, I don't even know what misconduct did I commit. What is the misconduct? Is to be seen singing with other people? Is to be seen walking with other people? Because nobody can prove that I voted wrongly. Nobody. So, if we will chant and look for people and say, yeah, you are standing next to this one, you are not going to vote with us in the Congress, so you are no longer, you are violating the mandate. And the mandate is taken from the shop floor. If they can prove to me that there was a general meeting, that taken a decision and then taken to the local and the regional office, and then that is how the mandate is acquired in NUMSA. It's not a general meeting of certain few people, and then they will sit there and read the whatever slides, and then they say it's a mandate. All NUMSA region who attended the staff to Congress wasn't having mandate except the Western Cape. If things were normal, things were happening accordingly, what was supposed to happen on that meeting, all of us, we were supposed to have an observer status and follow the Western Cape, who had a proper mandate which was mandated from the shop floor.
Kwanda, I appreciate your time. Let's leave it there for tonight. That's Kwanda Khanyile, suspended NUMSA member there, taking the party to court on Friday. Meanwhile, we did reach out to NUMSA. They directed us to that statement, which I was reading with some of those issues that have come out from there.